Let's see how you can use external storage in Android. In this example, we will click an image and store it with the name provided by the user. Here it is how it will work. I will show you by running it in my mobile device, and then we'll discuss how to make it happen. As you can see, I've got an external storage bottom left corner icon here, right? So I'll click on this, and now before I start typing the name of the image or anything else, I'll first have to give permissions to this app. So I'll go and give permissions to this app. Please see that it's very important that you give the permissions, because I have not put the code for giving permissions in this project. So we'll go to the permissions here, external storage, the name of the app, and then no permissions granted. I'll give the permission, and now I can return back to my app and start using it the way I wanted it to be. So now here I'm back in the app. Let me click on the this click image button. When I click on this button, I get this camera gets opened, and I can click the image, asking me to choose if this is correct. Yes, this is fine, and I'll be taken back to the app. As you can see, the image is showing up in the image view, and there's this save as text view below the button, and then there's a edit text here. I'll write something here. Let me write pp.png. Please see that you have to write .png, because again I have not mentioned in the code, as in this code will not put png extension in with your images. You will have to ask the user to write png, or if you want, you can of course enhance the code, and wherein the user does not have to write any name of the image, right? So this is pp.png, and now I click on confirm, and then save appears, and then I click on save, and you can see there's a toast message: file has been saved and your photo has been saved in the gallery. Both the toast messages are confirming that my photo has been saved. Now just to confirm that it is actually true, let me go to my my gallery and see if it has actually occurred. So in the gallery, as you can see, there's this pictures. This is the image that we just clicked. If I click on this and if I check for details of this image, this should show pp.png. And as you can see, the title, the first thing is showing pp, not png for obvious reasons, but here in the path you can see it's pictures/pp.png, right? So this app is working fine. Now let's go to our the code part and see how what exactly is being done here. Now let's look at the manifest of this. So this is the manifest. You can see that we have given two permissions here. The permissions need to be given so that you can read and write the external storage. As you know that we will be saving the image in our mobile device, so you need to give these permissions. This is a layout structure. You can see here the layout structure, the way it is laid out is that we have an image view here. This is the image view, and then we have a button. This is the button, and there's a small text view, save as, and then edit text, which is present here, so that user can give the name of the file with which he wants to save the file. Then there is a button, confirm button, and there's another button, save button, which you're not able to see right now, but once the user clicks on confirm, they will be able to see the save button as well. Now the first thing that you need to do for this app is that you need to check if the memory of the device is readable or writable. So what this really means is that by default, most of the memories that are present in the mobile devices are readable and writable, but we must make sure that we are checking it before we proceed ahead. So that's what we are doing here. There is a method here. Don't worry if if you think that only going to show you these small snippets of code, then no, that is not the case. I'm going to give you the entire code, show you the entire code, but I want to proceed it in this way that we can discuss how are we handling this problem in step by step. So this is the method check state, and we are basically finding out the environment.get external storage. This is a method which is inbuilt in SDK, And then you have these cases wherein we are checking if the environment media mounted is both if both of these are true. In that case, we are registering this thing, so if it is media mounted, then that means it can be used for both writing and reading. If it is read only, if it is explicitly read only, then it can only be written or read and it cannot be written. And otherwise, both of these are false. So we need to do this so that we are sure of the fact that yes, we can read and write our memory. After this, there is this button which if you remember, there was this button which was for confirmation. So this button does this job. We have made an object of save, and then set visibility is a method that we called, and we set this variable here, view.visible. So this will make sure that the visibility button, the save button, the save button will be visible if somebody clicks on confirm button. And there is this button, click image. This is another button, the first button which you saw. You need this button to open the camera, and that's what we are doing. We are using an implicit intent here. Action image capture is the name of the action that you need to give, and you start this intent by calling start activity for result, cam comma request code is 1. This is how you start the button. And once you this is the way you start the camera, and once the camera opens, the user can click the image, and when they are sent back to the same app from the camera, then this method is called on activity result. So on activity result is like you have you are basically going to check if result code is okay and request code is 1. And if this is the case, then we are going to set the image view with set image bitmap. As you can see in last line, iv.setImageBitmap bitmap bmap1. This basically sets the image on the image view. Now the on click for the save button, this is the most important button that we need to deal with. So this is the button which actually saves the image in the external storage. And string f, this is the name of the file that we need to have. As you saw in the video, I need to put png so that this image gets saved in the pictures, and I'm able to retrieve it whenever I go back to my external storage. So if you don't put png, even then the file gets stored, but the Android OS does not really recognize this image as an image. It will just store it, and you will not be able to find it easily in the pictures of your gallery. Now m file is go to new file. This is you are creating a file here, and path comma f. Path is basically you need to create a path. I will show you when I show you the entire code. This is what this really is, and f is the name of the file which the user has decided. So as you can see that we have introduced the name of the file here, and then we are calling the check state method. This is the method which we discussed earlier, and then this is being called path.makeDirs. This creates the file for the creates the path for the file name. And this is an important method because after we decide the name of the file, we also need to create a path, right? So this is what we call. And then this part of the code, this converts the image into data stream. So you already have an image which is bmap1. This is the image which was stored. This is the bitmap which was there, which was used to set in the image view. And then you call a method compress. These are a couple of steps that you need to do so that you can convert into a stream. And once you do that, then you're ready to write the bitmap which was converted to data stream to the external storage. So once you have the once you have the data stream, then you need to write it to the external storage. So that's what we are doing here. We are basically picking that stream and then storing it in the external storage. And once the file has been stored, then you can see that there is a toast message here. A file has been saved. You will see the toast message. After that, there's an important thing that is happening, and that's media scanner connection. So what this really does is it basically allows you to scan your entire media, whatever is stored in the external file, and then ensure that this file gets eventually stored. So you can say that this is like once you have saved it, you also want to make sure that this ultimate scan of all your media is done, so that the file which you just saved can be you can be rest assured that yes, it has been accepted by the media, right? After that, what we are doing is, so this is the part where we are scanning it. This is a method, on scan. This is a listener on scan completed, and on scan completed is the method that you're calling, overriding, sorry. And as you can see here, it is main activity.this.run on UI thread. You're running the media scanner to confirm this saved. And I also want to mention this thing here, that you need to see that this is run on UI thread, because this thing basically works in the background. So this thing will work in the background, and if you do not put main.activity.this, sorry, if you don't put run on UI thread, then you will not be able to see that toast message, because this entire thing will happen in the background. And unless you call run on UI thread, you will not be able to see this toast message, which is your photo has been saved in the gallery. After that, there are a couple of exceptions that we are trying to catch. In case the file is not found, and in case the IO exception happens, then you're going to catch it. This is for obvious reasons. You must do it, because whenever you deal with things like IO, and you're dealing with files, it's always good to call these exceptions. In fact, the Android Studio will make you do these things, so it's always good to do these things. And that's it. So that is it. There was nothing more to this. It's as simple as that. You just need to now get back to your Android Studio and make this app for yourself. Let me now take you to the entire code, so that we all are on the same page. So this is the layout that we saw in this app. I have a linear layout, and then the orientation is vertical. There's this image view where the image gets shown up after the user returns back to the app. This is the button that is clicking the image, and this is a text view which is mentioning save as, and then there is this edit text that you require, so that user can type in the name of the picture with which they want to save the picture. And this is the button. This button is basically responsible for confirming the action, and then there's the last button, which is basically responsible for saving the image. As you can see, I have put the visibility as invisible, and this invisible makes sure that the button is not visible to the user when they land into the app. Now this is the main activity. I don't think I need to explain these too much, but we have basically, what I've done is, there's this state variable which is of string type. Then booleans are there, can, w, can, are. These are the same variables that you saw, which were used to check if the memory is readable and writable. Then we've used a tag also. Then this is the path. If you remember, I told you I'll show you the path. This is the path. You need to make this path, and as you can see, the directory underscore pictures has been mentioned here. We need to do this because we want to make sure that the image gets stored in the pictures only. And then this is the file, the file name getting created. Sorry, file object getting created here. Nothing to mention here. And then this is all customary. You need to define all these variables, sorry, objects, make the references into objects, putting set on click listeners, and then we are calling check state. Check state is defined here, which we have already discussed. So we are checking state as inside the on create method only. And after that, there is on click. On click is being overridden, and then these are the button save, be save. And I've already discussed all of this. Checking the state again just for precautions. Then you have confirm and click image, and then on our activity result is also being called. This is it. The only thing which is remaining, or rather we already discussed it, the manifest part. You have to make sure that you take permissions. And another thing, when you run this app in your mobile device, you will have to go to your settings and give the permissions explicitly, because we have not put any code here which asks for settings on their own by the user, right? So like in most of the apps, you will see that the permissions are asked for when the user launches the app, but in this case it will not happen. So you'll have to go to settings. In case you want me to introduce settings here, in case you want me to put the part of asking for permissions also, please put it in the comments. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps me to let me know that you really are what is it that you want me to make. That's it. Thank you very much. Take care.